Every time you check your bank balance, you are living inside a decision made by a Roman emperor 2,000 years ago. Most people will never realize this. In 64 AD, inside a quiet mint in Rome, officials begin shaving silver from the denarius. No announcement, no debate, no vote. The coin in the citizen's hand looks identical. It weighs the same. It buys less. This is the invention of inflation as a tool of statecraft. And the man who signs the order is Nero. The mechanism he discovers has never been abandoned. Rome in 64 AD is the richest empire the world has ever seen. It is also broke. The treasury has been hollowed out by military campaigns, imperial extravagance, and the rebuilding of a city half destroyed by fire. Nero faces an impossible equation. He cannot raise taxes without provoking revolt among the senatorial class. He cannot cut the grain dole without inciting the mob. He cannot default on the legions without losing his throne. Every path leads to confrontation. Every path requires consent. So Nero searches for a fourth option, a path that requires no consent at all. To understand what he does next, you must understand the denarius. For nearly 2 centuries, this small silver coin has been the currency of the known world. It is trusted from Britannia to Syria. Soldiers are paid in it, merchants price grain in it, empires settle debts in it. Its value rests on a single guarantee that each coin contains a fixed weight of pure silver. The metal is the promise. The promise is the empire. Break the promise, and the empire breaks with it. Nero is about to break the promise, quietly. The genius of Nero's plan is its invisibility. He does not seize wealth. He does not impose new taxes. He does not announce hardship. Instead, he orders the mint to reduce the silver content of each new denarius from 100% to roughly 90%. The coin retains its weight. It retains its design. It retains its name. Only the metal inside is diluted. A citizen receiving wages cannot detect the change. A merchant accepting payment cannot test it. The theft is perfect because nobody knows it has happened, and that is precisely the point. It is 64 AD. The mint workers are sworn to silence. The new coins flow into circulation alongside the old, indistinguishable to the naked eye. Nero uses them to pay the legions, fund construction, settle imperial debts. For the first time in Roman history, the emperor has created wealth out of nothing, or rather, out of everyone's wealth at once. Every existing denarius in circulation has just become slightly less valuable. The cost is spread across every citizen who holds money. None of them know they have paid. None of them can object. The treasury is full again. At first, Nero believes this is an emergency measure, a one-time fix for a one-time crisis. But within months, he understands something far more dangerous. The debasement worked. There were no riots. There was no senatorial backlash. The legions accepted their pay. The merchants accepted the coins. The fiction held. And then comes the realization that will reshape every economy for the next 2,000 years. If it worked once, it can work again, and again, and again. The emperor has discovered a revenue stream that requires no army, no law, no consent. This is the moment money becomes a weapon pointed inward. Before Nero, a Roman emperor who wanted resources had to take them through taxation, conquest, or confiscation. Each method carried political cost. Each required justification. Debasement carries no cost because it is invisible. It is the perfect crime because the victim never identifies the theft. They notice only the symptom. Bread costs more, rent costs more, the same wage buys less. And they blame merchants, weather, or fate. They never blame the mint. They never blame the emperor. They blame each other. Nero dies in 68 AD, 4 years after the debasement. He believes he has solved a temporary problem. He has not. He has installed a permanent mechanism. Every emperor who follows inherits the same equation Nero faced. Too many promises, not enough revenue, and every emperor reaches for the same solution. Vespasian debases further. Trajan debases further. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, debases to fund his wars. Commodus accelerates the process. Septimius Severus pushes the silver content below 50%. Each emperor tells himself it is temporary. Each emperor tells himself he has no choice. The pattern is mechanical. A new emperor inherits debt. He cannot raise taxes without revolt. He cannot cut spending without losing power. He turns to the mint. The silver content falls. Prices rise. The treasury enjoys a brief reprieve. Then the cycle repeats, each turn requiring more aggressive debasement to produce the same relief. By the reign of Gallienus in the 260s, the denarius contains barely 5% silver. By 270 AD, it contains roughly 2%. The coin that once unified an empire is now a copper disc with a silver wash. The promise is dead. And here is where the mechanism reveals its true cost. As the silver vanishes, trust vanishes with it. Merchants demand more coins for the same goods. Soldiers demand more pay for the same service. Prices in some provinces rise by 1,000% in a single generation. Long-distance trade collapses because no one trusts Roman coinage abroad. Citizens begin hoarding the old, purer coins, driving them out of circulation. The empire that ruled the Mediterranean by the strength of its currency now cannot pay its own soldiers in money they will accept. The crisis becomes existential. In 301 AD, Emperor Diocletian tries to fix what Nero began. He issues the edict on maximum prices, threatening death for merchants who raise their rates. It fails immediately. You cannot legislate against arithmetic. Goods disappear from markets, black markets flourish. The edict becomes a monument to the limits of imperial power. Diocletian has discovered what every government will eventually discover, that once you have debased the currency, you cannot undebase it by decree. The trust took centuries to build. It can be destroyed in years, and it cannot be restored by force, only by collapse. Fast forward to the 20th century. In 1913, the United States establishes the Federal Reserve. In 1933, it confiscates private gold. In 1971, it severs the dollar from gold entirely. The mechanism is identical to Nero's, only the metal has changed. Where Nero diluted silver, modern central banks dilute purchasing power. Where Nero hid behind the weight of the coin, modern authorities hide behind the language of monetary policy. Quantitative easing, liquidity injection, balance sheet expansion. The vocabulary is technical, the action is ancient. A government creates money it does not have. Your savings absorb the cost. The numbers are precise and damning. The US dollar has lost roughly 96% of its purchasing power since 1913. The British pound has lost over 99% since 1900. The mechanism Nero invented in a Roman mint now operates in every reserve currency on earth. You are not paid less. Your wages absorb a quiet, invisible tax that you never voted for and cannot opt out of. Different empire, same theft, different mint, same hand. The silver in your coin has been replaced by the silver in your labor, and it is still being shaved. Nero is remembered as a tyrant, a madman, a fiddler while Rome burned. History has the wrong charge sheet. His true crime was quieter and more durable. He proved that a government with control of the mint never has to ask its people for anything. It can simply take, invisibly, indefinitely, while the citizens blame each other for the consequences. Every finance minister since has worked from his template. Every central banker is his heir. The coin in your pocket is the coin Nero shaved. Different empire, same theft. The mint never closed.